Now it's time for concealer. Now I know a lot of people are used to using their beauty blender, beauty blender, beauty sponge when it comes to doing their concealer, especially if you're doing like conceal highlight motion. Yeah, it is more convenient to use that type of tool for that process. But you can still use the Sillisponge for it. Okay. Now instead of the, like you do, you're actually going to have to use a smoothing, wiping motion with it. Not really wipe, but just smooth. Okay. Kind of like this. Now you saw what I did there. I did this, a little bit of smoothing just to bring the product down and kind of thin it out a little bit. And I did that with one end, and on the other end I started patting to kind of take up a little bit of the excess and to kind of give it more of a uniform finish. Now, this is a bit hard to get underneath the eye area, so you may have to bend it and go under like this to get that area good. Okay, and you can do it as flexible as pliable, so you don't have to worry about breaking it. And like I said with the foundation, same thing with concealer. Whether it's cream or liquid, you still are going to need to wipe off, frequently, because otherwise you're going to end up caking on product. Here we go again, the other eye. You see how smooth on end. This end, I'm going to kind of dab with. I'm going to wipe. I'm going to the under eye again. I'm going to fold. Now, the reason I let you guys know, my age and the issues that I'm dealing with is because, if you're younger, you're not going to, or hopefully, you don't have the same issues that you got to worry about when it comes to lines and stuff. We all got creases under our eyes. That's just a given. But, typically, other than maybe acne, if you're younger, you don't have many skin texture issues that you have to deal with. So, using this will probably be a little bit more smooth sailing than it is for someone who's in my age group. Okay, now I'm going to first set the area, the under eye area, because you need to. I'm using my e.l.f. HD powder for that, which people are like, why do you do that? But, you know, it's kind of a good powder for that, for me. And it doesn't really alter the color of my skin. Now, this ain't going to work for everybody. So, you know, if you got a powder that works for you, you keep on using it. Just because you see me using this one doesn't mean that you got to do it. Okay. And this concealer contours my Maybelline Master Camo color correcting kit. And now what I'm going to do is, now with this one, I find that it's easier for me to go in with the sponge into that color correcting palette and take out the concealer shade and just apply it right to the sponge. And you see it doesn't pick up much product. And what I'm just going to do now is dab over the areas that need that concealer. And I find with this, because this doesn't really cake on product on it, it actually gives you just the right amount for each application, even if you have to layer. And this way, when you do that tap, tap, tap in those areas, it doesn't give you the creasing. And the reason why this works like this for this area and not really for doing that all over the face when it comes to foundation is because it's such a small area that I'm working with. So I can do the dab, dab, dab. Almost forgot the white, because you do still need the white periodically. Now, even though this does take a little bit longer, you know, depending on what your makeup needs are, it actually doesn't take this long. It's like this because I'm actually talking, you know, through with you guys. And anytime people do a talk through when they're doing one of these videos, it takes a little bit longer because, well, some of you probably know, when you're putting on your makeup, sometimes you get into a zone. And especially if you know the look that you're going for ahead of time, and you know what you're going to do, you just like, bam, you know, it looks like you're doing double speed sometimes because you're already in that zone with it. But when you're talking through, you know, it seems like things move at a little bit of a slower pace. And then do a set. Now I'm talking through clenched teeth here because if I go and try to talk like regular, with my fleshy folds moving around, it's going to cause extra creasing right now, and that's not something I want. And then I'm going to do just a little more now. There's a concealer slash highlighter shade in this palette, you know, that I use for natural highlight. And I'm going to use that for my nose and forehead. So I'm taking the sponge and just going right down the center with it. And over that forehead area. And then I quickly dab those areas.